Monitoring Melissa, a Category 5 hurricane expected to make a landfall in St. Elizabeth in a matter of hours. We'll take a look at the system's location and the impact felt across the island so far. Plus, the homeless on the streets of Kingston. Where will they ride out the storm? Hello and welcome to the latest update on TVJ. I'm Milton Walker. We'll have the details right after this break.
Okay, I see you. Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right, now kick left, now step forward, now step back. Lucasade, bring the energy.
Everybody needs a helping hand, somebody to understand. In the end, we're all human. For people living with HIV, no discrimination. Here to support them through. Respect you as usual. Got to protect them too. One of your friend or your family, somebody in your community. People living with HIV. Protect, accept, and respect people living with HIV. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Come on, Toby. Come on. Who's a good boy? Toby. Come on. Come on. Stupid dog. Red Bull gives you wings.
Negril. The Government Services Mobile Fair is rolling into your community on Friday, October 31. Come to the Negril Beach Park, Norman Manley Boulevard for passport renewal, legal aid assistance, apply for birth certificates, road licenses, path benefits, new business registration, property tax, and NWC services. Get information on the National Housing Trust, plus free health checks and much more. Come out and celebrate the Government of Jamaica Service Excellence Month as we bring government services to your doorstep.
Thanks for staying us. Special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands, onespotmedia.com, and of course our viewers on YouTube. We begin with the latest on Hurricane Melissa. The system is on track to make a landfall in the coming hours. We are joined by our in-house meteorologist, Romaine Robinson. But let me just give you the latest figures. This is from the 8 o'clock bulletin. Extremely dangerous Hurricane Melissa continues to threaten Jamaica. The hurricane warning remains in effect. At 7 p.m., the center of Melissa was located 155 miles southwest of Kingston, or 118 miles south of Negril Point. Melissa is moving slowly towards the northwest near 4 kilometers per hour. That's 2 miles per hour. And a slow turn towards the north is expected tonight, followed by a turn towards the northeast and a faster forward speed on Tuesday. On the forecast track, Melissa is expected to move near or over the island by early Tuesday. Romaine, good evening. Are we still expecting about 1 o'clock tomorrow morning for us to for the hurricane to make landfall?
We're expecting the landfall sometime in the late morning tomorrow, but we are expecting the effects from as early as tonight going into tomorrow morning.
When you say late morning, like 4 or 5? Or
closer to the afternoon, so that would be like 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning.
Okay. So what can people expect overnight then?
More of the showers and thunderstorms that have been affecting the island will continue tonight and tomorrow. We don't see significant breaks in the rainfall pattern, especially across the south. As the system moves closer to the island, we're expecting an intensification of all this activity. So heavier rainfall is expected. Stronger wind speeds are expected also across most of the island. We're expecting that across the southeast in particular, we do have heavy activity forecast to continue into tonight. But for the southwest, that's when the heaviest activity is expected to occur, mainly across sections of, or at least coastal areas of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, also coastal areas of Manchester and Clarendon. We're looking for Category 5 wind speeds, quite possible to affect these areas from as early as tomorrow morning.
We've been getting reports from some of our viewers online that there's heavy rainfall in Greater Portmore, Santa Cruz, Balaclava, St. James Junction, Brownstown in St. Anne and Westmoreland, so it's a pretty wide area.
Right.
And someone said the lights are in and out in St. James.
Yeah, we're expecting a lot of this activity to occur across, especially across the south. The south is likely to be getting the heaviest of the activity initially, and then by tomorrow in the afternoon, we expect northern parishes to come under much of the activity that has already been experienced by sections of the south. As the system moves further towards the Jamaica area, we are still forecasting that there is likely to be a northeastward turn with the system. It's expected to take place between tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's currently moving towards the northwest, and we do expect a turn towards the northeast tonight and tomorrow morning.
Okay, so when it actually makes landfall, about how long do you expect us to be experiencing the hurricane force winds, the really horrible, nasty winds and heavy rainfall?
Well, there is significantly slow movement with the system initially. It's currently at about 4 kilometers per hour. We expect the system to speed up as it gets closer to the island. However, we're not expecting that the activity lasts longer than about 18 hours between the onset and the time that it exits the north coast sometime late in the evening on Tuesday. So we're looking for essentially what is an entire day of very strong winds and very heavy rainfall across the area.
And all clear, when do you expect that to be?
The Met Office doesn't forecast a generally sunny or partly cloudy day until about Thursday. As you move into Wednesday, there is still the likelihood that you have onshore winds bringing some cloud showers and thunderstorms to sections of the north. And as the system is expected to move further away from the island, there is also the likelihood that it speeds up. So the earliest that we should be seeing an all clear should be about Wednesday in the afternoon.
Wednesday afternoon.
Yes.
So tomorrow all day,
That's the worst.
you have to be locked down.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so talk to us now about that. Looking at that map where we see it hasn't quite turned yet because it's right now where the last red dot is to the left, right? And then it has a few more to the west where the pink area is, and then it will make that turn. What's going to make it make that sudden turn? Why doesn't it continue across?
It technically has already made the turn if you look at the GPS points and you look at the movement of the system. It's currently where you have this pink area, and this is a category 5. That's a category 5 hurricane. Now, the system is likely to be making a slight northeastward turn as it makes its forward movements across the area. But because the forward movement is exceedingly slow at 4 kilometers per hour, forecasters are having some difficulty placing exactly when it will move. However, we do know that once it starts to speed up, there is the likelihood that it is moving in a north-northeasterly direction. So that's why the prediction has a north-northeastward turn.
Now, when you look at that, the cone kind of excludes the eastern part,
Yes.
Kingston, Portland, St. Thomas, or parts of Kingston. And some persons have seen that and said, oh, Kingston is going to be spared. Talk to us about that.
The cone
That's
is
a false narrative, isn't it?
Yes. The radial distance of hurricane force winds is about 45 to 50 kilometers. But the tropical storm force winds are extending more than 250, going up to 280 kilometers. And there are reports that tropical storm force winds extend near to 300, 330 kilometers from the center. This would include the entire eastern portion of the island. So as the system is moving further towards the north, we also have to add that forward speed to those winds. So it's quite likely that you could see some category 1, category 2 storm force winds across sections of Clarendon, sections of coastal St. Catherine over the next couple of hours or so.
Wow. Romaine Robinson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pretty sobering news that we're having. Tell us what's happening in your area. You can tell us on WhatsApp at 876-254-0693. Again, our WhatsApp number, 876-254-0693. And as Hurricane Melissa bears down on Jamaica, residents of flood-prone communities in St. Anne are seeking refuge in emergency shelters. But as our news team found out, not all of those facilities in St. Anne are ready to provide comfort and care the vulnerable depend on, Sandy Williams reports.
It's a slow and cautious role for Herman Bryan, a man bound to a wheelchair and bound too by circumstance, he made his way to the Clarksonville All-Age School early Monday, seeking safety from Hurricane Melissa's fury.
You know, Cleveland is a place like water. And when we live, I just me alone. And the house a button, nothing. The Prime Minister give me a house. I'm really living in about. So I say, it is here, I come and shelter one. Drive the glass, print up, and I have a soul.
Cave Valley, his home, is one of St. Anne's most flood-prone communities, but the shelter where he hoped to find safety offered little comfort. No cots, no beds, not even a place to cook a meal.
No, everything on my plate for myself.
But not all shelters across the parish are in such dire straits. Over in Brownstown, those seeking refuge at the high school have found better conditions and peace of mind.
Where we live, the place is leaking. If you rain on the barely fall, you have to set pan and put plastic on the beds. And the ceiling, I told it's very bad because inside the house, the thing where you put inside, the ceiling drop out. So the zinc have a lot of holes. So when the rain fall, and last year when the barrel come, it broke off. We didn't get no help. So as I heard that this hurricane is more stronger, so I make a preparation, say I'm and them live, and I'm not going to it. After every, like, you know, after I blow, I'm going to regret it, and so I see. I reach out for help.
For the most vulnerable, special care has been taken. Patients from the St. Anne Infirmary, perched dangerously close to the sea in Prairie, have been moved to Marcus Garvey Technical High School, where proper facilities await them.
And because of storm surge, there could be a potential harm. So we have a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that all the infirmary are, they're under our care. So we bring them to the Marcus Garvey. We set up a mini hostel for them right here. We have provided the water tank for the water. We have the generators for the refrigeration. They have cots and so on in one of the school rooms. So they cook for them and they maintain them. They have all the medication because some of them are, have medical issues also.
Across St. Anne, 84 shelters stand ready on paper, but for some, readiness is only in name. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
Now over in Clarendon, close to 1,000 people have been relocated to hurricane shelters. Some began to heed the call to evacuate at the last minute as Melissa became even more powerful. Details in this report from Dwayne Anderson.
Things have been running smoothly. As the buses comes in, we register the persons immediately and show them where they'll be staying, the classroom they'll be staying in. There's a whole lot of children. At 12 o'clock, the registration numbers are, we have at least 86 children here. Total registration at 12 o'clock is 242 persons. Some persons have stuff, some foods were dropped off from yesterday. Persons are sharing. There's one big family here. They're cooperating and doing the best they can with what they have. We just had a bus came in about 10 minutes ago, and as far as I know, buses are still coming in. Registration is ongoing. We're still registering because it's now after 12 and we still have persons coming in.
We have a lot of things here for take care of. We can't move unless we contain them back away out or anything. Well, I mean, if he say we are going to get no jerk, yeah, so like, where certain people, people are going to get other jerk on people, but if he say we see a thing now, the plan where we have to go in a higher ground, because we have only for building and buildings to go in a tall and tall, or you understand, if water fi come, all in a boat, sit there all in a boat them, look for the boat them, see them there. We go in at them, go sit down with the cloak them, we have on, till daylight.
Yeah, man, so we can secure, we are secure with something them, because we know what happened last time, this time.
What happened last time?
Whole heap of people get damaged and whole heap of place blow away. Whole heap of damage it go on and something. Now we're more secure, yeah. We sorry we couldn't fold up all the building them and secure them too. Because you can see empty. That means every boat there on the land. So we know we are secure a boat, we are secure ourselves too.
The police did a fantastic job with us yesterday, getting into the community themselves, announcing and asking the resident to heed the call. And I want to thank them very much for that. From my desk, I realized that the most impactful area that is going to be on our plate would have been the Portland Cottage, Rocky Point, the Farker Beach area, Milk River, all the way back into Racecourse and in Mitchelltown, Lioneltown, that belt. I had discussion with Minister Charles, and we decided we were going to bring in the JUTC buses. I made connection with them, and that you can see they're here with us. I housed them here last night, take care of them, and they were able to roll out pretty early this morning. And I must commend them for the job that they has done. We're in the last few hours now before the real ding dong, and I'm hoping that God will spare us, and we will be able to ride out this storm.
My name is Maurice Archer. I'm a single operator at the JUTC. I'm down here with my team trying to evacuate persons. It's been a challenge, a very difficult challenge. I'm talking about we have I left on my knee, I beg them. But anyhow, I've got out 3 bus loads already. These are the last persons. This is the final run, and then we're going back in.
The authorities here in Jamaica, they've regularly told the country that Clarendon is one of the most high-risk and at-risk parishes when it comes to flooding. And so far, some parts really holding up to that unfortunate tag. Just some parts here in the southern and central parts just started to well up with water. Just a while ago, I was forced to make a U-turn and find an alternate route as I continue to make my way here across the parish just minutes to 6 o'clock on Monday evening, just to see how the parish is holding up. Reporting for TVJ News, I am Dwayne Anderson.
Okay, we're going to just stay in Maypen, and we're going to have a look at the camera that's in the town center there. Absolutely nobody on the street, everybody's off. Lights are still on. Earlier you could see that there was some wind in terms of the wires being swaying in the night breeze, but everything looks pretty okay. There's some rain in the town, but as I said, the lights are on and there is some rain and wind in that town. Now, just going to give you some comments that we're getting from our viewers. Raining heavily in Mile Gully, Manchester, the wind on and off. In Dumfries, St. James, there's heavy winds and normal portions of rain. The eye is expected to pass through this side of the parish as it will make its exit through the border of Trelawney and St. James, where Dumfries is located. Hendon, Norwood, Montego Bay, lot of rain and wind. Novlet, she's in Ligony, it's raining and also strong winds. This is happening intermittently. And Shadeen Stewart from Mitchelltown, she's in Clarendon, and it's raining and it's windy as well. And also wind and rain in Caribbean Estates, and that's in St. Catherine. Rain and wind, heavy wind in Glasgow, St. Anne, and also from Bottom House Hall in Clarendon, currently experiencing heavy winds and rain, and the power is going on and off. We also heard from very windy in Montego Bay presently, Old Harbour, St. Catherine. There's some rain and wind. And Mandeville New Green Road, persistent heavy showers, moderate to high winds at times. Currently, the power went at 7 a.m. but came back at 1 p.m. and we still have it. Kudos to JPS. That's from Tony. And wind and rain in Gregory Park, Portmore in St. Catherine. Now, the Member of Parliament for North East St. Elizabeth, Julika Jest, has expressed disappointment disappointment with the state of shelters across the parish, even as those seeking shelter cry out for help with resources. Krista Campbell has that story.
As Melissa inched closer to Jamaica and the severity of her threat became apparent, residents of St. Elizabeth started to make their way to emergency shelters across the parish. We caught up with some who said they've been at the Santa Cruz Primary School since Sunday.
Give thanks to the government for heads up, like we know what going on, because we don't want no disaster and something happen to people and things. So we just give thanks and praise that we are in a little shelter, you know. So here we are going. We want a little aid. We want some little bed for some little elder people and no bed and there, something there, you know, and some other people and the younger one them. Some of we got a little bed still, yes, but we want more bed, you know. And more little food, little water and everything. We don't have nothing up here.
Water. I don't want medicine arthritis. I mean, medication. I mean, arthritis.
So if we run come and shelter because food or that shelter we get with it eat. Nothing. They say prepare and they are bed, pan, dirt. Miss the woman they lie down right on at all. And I'm dead for hungry. Me not get nothing. And this me have my carry things in my yard, nothing. Me pain up, me cramp, me can't walk this man.
Black River Mayor Richard Solomon responded.
We would have encouraged persons to bring along whatever it is that they can. We make special provision for persons who are homeless. We get the report from the manager and we hear the situation and we are in dialogue in terms of getting some more supplies for them there.
But for Member of Parliament for North East St. Elizabeth, Zuleika Jess, the situation is disappointing.
Yesterday, for example, when I checked on shelters in Thornton and Quickstep, they were without beds, they were without cots, blankets, etc. I had to make contact with the local parish council and thankfully the mayor was quite responsive and gave us an assurance that supplies would be sent over to those shelters. The councillor Champion Myers for Thornton Primary School shelter actually did quite a bit of heavy lifting in order to get the material in the form of cots and blankets and other flashlights and so forth made available to the shelter because the council indicated that they didn't have any flashlights for the shelter manager, they didn't have any water boots, etc. So we've had to step in and try and assist as best as we can. As the Member of Parliament, it is not my responsibility to find cots or beds or blankets, but I have been trying my very best to see how we can assist the process by reaching out to the relevant authorities. I have personally delivered food packages to some of the shelters, even though, again, it's not my responsibility to do so.
By 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, only 6 persons sought refuge at the Braze River Community Center. That shelter had ample supplies of bedding, food, and water, but it has no windows. At the Grosmond Bridge in Braze River, we saw a stick placed in the road to warn motorists of its deteriorating condition. The bridge connects the communities of Balaclava, Elim, Siloa, and even Manchester in the north. The government had promised to fix it from 2017, but with that yet to materialize, residents fear the worst for the structure. Now the mayor says as Hurricane Melissa gets closer to making landfall in the parish, the focus is now on getting persons in vulnerable areas to evacuate before it is too late. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
And remember, we want you to tell us what's happening in your area on WhatsApp us at 876-254-0693. Again, the number is 876-254-0693. We're going to take a break now. When we return, more stories and more updates on the weather system headed for Jamaica. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Sheena. I'm Melanie. I'm Elad. I'm Burkan.
I'm Cedron.
And I'm Anna. Join us on the last Thursday of every month at 8:30 p.m. right here on TBJ for Inflation Watch, brought to you by Bank of Jamaica. That's Inflation Watch, where we discuss the factors influencing price changes in Jamaica. Keep watching.
Jamaica's biggest shopping event of the year, Black Friday Frenzy, returns November 27 to 29. Boost your pre-Christmas sale. Sign up your store to unlock maximum visibility with our extensive advertising and promotional campaigns across multiple platforms, TV, radio, press, digital, along with website listing and store branding. Don't miss out. Sign up your store now at bffjamaica.com. Black Friday Frenzy is presented by the RGR Gleaner Communications Group in partnership with Multilink.
Chat! The RGA Gleaner Netballers present Big Money Bingo with Winston Casanova at the Gleaner Company, 7 North Street, Saturday, November 1 from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Admission $2,000. Enough more money. Big Money Bingo, $150,000 to be won. $150,000. Big Money Bingo all night with DJ Xavier. Sponsored by Karen Joyce Pharmacy, Bright Diamond Funeral Services and Supplies, Vikings Furniture Depot, Harry's Funeral Home, 876 Nurses, Soccer Express Prints and Manufacturing, Tranquility Funeral Home, Kendall, Counts Manufacturing, Naraj Confectionery, Sunshine Snacks, Slangy J.A., Rapid Aqua Air, Couriers and Destiny Furniture and Appliances, BM Auto Sales Limited, AE Auto Sales Limited, Buddy's Funeral Services. Get your pre-sold tickets now for only $2,000 at RGR Gleaner, 32 Lyndhurst Road, the Gleaner Company, 7 North Street, and Karen Joyce Pharmacy, Shop Number 1, Caribbean Estates, Bernard Lodge, Main Road, Portmore. Tickets at the gauge, $2,500. Get your tickets early. Enough vibes, enough prizes, surprises at Big Money Bingo.
This week, every family has a story.
So when you became pregnant, who took care of the baby?
We never take the responsibility. If I'm hungry and asking for lunch money, I didn't get it.
We bring her to the hospital. When we go there, no baby.
What do you mean?
The nurse said the baby died.
Did you see a body?
No.
Did you get a death certificate?
No. The Susan Show is brought to you by San Myrna Paper Products, Virgins International Trading, and Sherwin-Williams.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to this special news update on Hurricane Melissa. Just going to give you a few comments. Rosal in Montego Bay, raining not too heavy, no wind yet. There's heavy rain interspersed with winds. This is in Willowdene in Spanish Town. Florence Hall in Trelawney, it's currently raining and it's windy. Also in Green Island, Hanover, it's some rain and wind. Then we also have in Port Antonio, I'm not sure, it's raining in Montego Bay now, and in 7 West Greater Portmore we're having rain and winds. Our sways are soak-away system, but they need regular cleaning. No, our lawn do, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding that comment, but then one. Heavy rain and wind in St. James, and in Niagara, St. James, light rain and it's windy. Also, Samuel says heavy rain in Clarendon at West Park to be exact, along with strong winds. Steady rainfall in Inverness in St. Anne, and also in Brownstown, moderate rainfall, strong winds, electricity going on and off, and that's from Hope. Okay. As Jamaicans brace for Tropical Storm Melissa's lingering presence, one group remains especially vulnerable, the homeless. Our reporter Nakinski Robinson spoke with some of them as shelters fill up and others refuse to move from the streets they call home.
On the damp sidewalks of a King Street in downtown Kingston, makeshift beds of cardboard and plastic line the front of Justice Square. For those without a roof like Owen Mitchell, the hurricane isn't something to wait out indoors. It's something to survive in the open.
We go at the shelter, but I don't know if you want to affect us inside here, because in here full up and we don't see any other way out. Kind of this person sleeping on the cardboard and sleeping outside on the bench under a shelter. That means inside the building are full.
Owen, like several others, have gone a full day without a meal since the elements have worsened. It's the same script but different cast for the over 10 people now seeking refuge in the Justice District.
The Marie Atkins Night Shelter is one of 3 across the island.
said inside, there are still many people on the street, exposed and waiting for help.
With shelters already near capacity, Acting Inspector of the Poor for the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Donaghy Brady, says dozens of homeless people are still out in the elements, some refusing to leave their spots, others unaware of where to go. However, she says outreach officials will spare no efforts to provide shelter and food to some of the most vulnerable.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that to our attention because I'm not aware that persons have gone back to King Street. The mayor would have traversed that area just yesterday and he had encouraged all of them to come to our locations. Now that you've brought it to our attention, the assertive outreach team, we will definitely go back to evacuate those individuals and take them to a safe haven.
She also gave an update on the state of the facility.
So we have evacuated approximately over 60 persons since Thursday of last week, and these individuals are housed at Mary Atkins Night Shelter on Church Street. Currently, the Church Street location is to its maximum, it's filled to capacity, and we are planning to explore utilizing the incomplete space up by the Desmond Mackenzie Transitional Facility to accommodate an overflow in the case that other persons decide to come in off the streets.
The shelters offer 2 meals a day and supper occasionally. The local government ministry has opened emergency shelters to house evacuees. However, the homeless population is encouraged to access facilities provided by the Poor Relief Department. As conditions worsen, the authorities say they're monitoring the homeless population closely, with mobile teams dispatched across the city to transport anyone found in flood-prone zones. But those along King Street say outside of a proper home, they feel the most protected lingering in the Justice District, which doubles as a place of shelter and safety.
They're more protected.
Yes, more protected than sir.
Yeah, because of the outer community where violence is. But sometimes you have men who pass around and throw stone and drop stone on it.
Meanwhile, Ms. Brady says very few stay in poor relief shelters after emergencies. However, efforts are being made to change that.
We're trying to change that narrative, and what I would encourage is that individuals should come and not assume maybe based on past experience, but know that we offer a dignified space and they will be treated well if they come to us. So I'll encourage individuals to come in and not stick to the stigma.
Those in the New Kingston Business District who have refused relocation remain a grave concern for the authorities. Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
And our reporter Kalisha Williams is in southeastern St. Elizabeth and filed this report.
Thank you so much. So we are now in Beacon, St. Elizabeth, still in southern St. Elizabeth, where the center of Hurricane Melissa should pass close or directly over this area. And as I said earlier, I'm in Beacon. I don't know if some of you remember last year during Hurricane Beryl, where there was a viral video going around with Reverend Tommy Lee singing in his church as a storm, the wrath of Beryl was being felt outside.
All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so.
And he's now here with me, and you've moved from that area and you're here now. Talk to me about just what's going on now.
So what's going on now? So this is the home that we're at now from Beryl. It's a family home, so they give us a permission to live here. And you know, the owner is here at this point in time. It is also his first time going through a storm, but he's here with us. And we have made proper preparations, in getting the place, in tune. The windows are buttoned up, and we feel a little bit safer now. Even though my little daughter, the one that was in video, she has been she slept last night with one eye closed, one eye open.
Wow.
Every sound that she hears, she was up. So we're comforting them.
So there's still some trauma there.
Yes. Because when they heard that the storm was coming, she started showing that kind of worry. So we will have to be there, encouraging her. And I was even encouraging them and saying to them, remember that we're in a more sturdy building now. You understand? So we are much safer now than last year.
And how do you feel as well? Now that you're here as well, because I know you must have been concerned for your family last year during that time.
Yes, being here, I'm feeling much comfortable now, and because last year, as I said, we didn't have that, comfort as we did wanted, but I'm still have a little worry because there are persons in our community who lives in home that are not, but also even since we are here, there are persons who will be staying over with us at this point in time.
Can you say how many people?
5 persons will be staying over, 5 females. Okay. So we just went over to assist a young lady with her daughter to come over. So they'll be staying here, and two other lady from down the bottom in the lane will be coming also to stay with us here at this point in time. And I feel very good to know that where we are at, persons can be able to be safe.
Okay. And you have all your essential items. You were able to take that from your property to here as well?
Yes. So we have all the essential items, and we stock up on food and supplies and support. We even had a generator at this point in time. It's the same. So in case of power outage, then we can have it to help us.
But there's no power here now. So
no
any plans to set up this soon?
Yes, short, because everything is already in place. So the card and everything, gas and everything. So it's just when we're ready to utilize the house, we'll be able to get it up and running.
Okay, so you'll be. So when did you come over? Today? Last night?
No, it was from last year.
Oh, so you moved here from last year?
Yeah, we moved here from last year, from Beryl. We moved here from last year. Okay. So we're still here because where we live is not complete as yet either. So this is our home for now.
Oh, so you're doing some rebuilding around here?
Yes, we're doing the rebuilding run by the church property.
Okay, thank you so much, and stay safe, and all the best to you and your family.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Williams.
Well, thank you so much. So right now, it's back to you in studio. I'll be here on the ground, and I'll continue to provide some more updates from southern St. Elizabeth.
And we're going to stay in St. Elizabeth in Great Bay, where residents were advised to evacuate as rising sea levels and strong winds threatened homes close to the shoreline. But despite the warnings, some have chosen to stay, saying they've weathered storms before.
We're 65, right? And we see Gilbert. We see the full force of Gilbert. And the sea, as far as I grew up, I never hear nobody say them ever see the sea come further than the road, right? Gilbert, what happened is we have a bluff. We have something named a bluff.
Yeah.
And it's much different from most beaches in Jamaica, Great Bay. We have a bluff that it goes out from here, from where the beach starts, to our next beach we call Backsea Side.
So you think that will be able to save you here?
Yes.
Still, many admit the mental strain of living through yet another hurricane will be heavy once the winds die down.
We just have a hurricane. We just have one hurricane, terrible hurricane. Wow, and it set people on an edge right now. And then the media again, the media which is sending so much information and telling the people, go away, it cannot, trust me. After the storm, a lot of people are going to have high blood pressure.
Okay, over in Portland, while residents were bracing for the impact of Hurricane Melissa, thieves broke into a business establishment in Port Antonio and made away with more than $1 million worth of goods and other items. Anthony Lugg has the details.
Imagine dealing with the stress of a hurricane and then finding out that you've been robbed. Well, that's the reality of a business owner here in Port Antonio, Portland.
Noticed that the grill was cut, and then I checked to see what's happening, pushed the door, come inside, noticed that everything was gone. All of the bar. It was like devastating. I couldn't really believe what happened.
How much worth are things worth about?
Right now we are looking at roughly 1.5 or even more.
Look at the counter. Liquors gone. I'm gonna ask my videographer to walk with me to show you as well inside this kitchen. The robbers came inside here. They removed a microwave from off this counter. They moved a gas cylinder from around here. And if that was not already bad, they went inside the refrigerator and removed all the meat kind from outside.
Stress level right now is over my head. The stress level is over my head. Knowing that Melissa is coming, and we don't know what damage it's going to impact on the country right now. And you never know if my house may be blown down. We don't know. No one knows what's going to take place. And knowing that we have this to deal with, plus you have your personal thing at home to deal with, it's just devastating.
The matter has been reported to the police, but to date, no one has visited the scene. The owner of the establishment is hoping they'll do so immediately after Hurricane Melissa passes. Reporting from Port Antonio, Portland, I'm Anthony Lugg for TVJ News.
And residents in Bamboo River in St. Thomas are preparing to evacuate after rising sea levels is threatening their homes, while some wait and see. Others rely on past experiences as lessons learned. Jamaica Maitland reports.
Welcome to Bamboo River. It's a small, informal community located in Morant Bay in St. Thomas. It's located very close to the sea, and if you listen closely, you'll hear the waves crashing along the shore. In fact, I'm standing on the roadway and the sea is slowly creeping in. Now, residents have used this narrow makeshift bridge to get from one side to the next, going to one of the only available shops that is open in the community. But believe it or not, one misstep could result in me falling in chest-deep water. And so, I'm going back to the other side.
Antonio Williams, a resident of Bamboo River in St. Thomas, sticks a pole in a gully to show the depth of the water that residents have to cross.
You have to sit right in because it's full of.
The dangerous trek across the gully is made worse by rising sea level from Hurricane Melissa, and there have been a few notable accidents.
I'm on drop down tonight. Drop off of this and drop down tonight. I'm here to say, that man up to recover.
Beyond the makeshift bridge are homes with residents like Kelvin, who says he's not evacuating. He's, however, leaving to make several trips to check on his business establishment in the town center.
I feel like, say, you get the left side. Okay. We're not the east side. We feel like we'll get the left side, but we must get touched.
For Michelle, however, she's not staying any longer.
The shelter where I go.
So you made a decision to evacuate?
Yes, me I come out because I can't swim and the river the back away now, no right.
With her bag of personal items on her shoulder and a gallon of water weighing her down, Michelle says this storm reminds her of Hurricane Gilbert close to 40 years ago.
And Gilbert did I come and I first reach up at the school.
Really?
Yeah, then said then I'm over. After one them I feel lift up. Yeah. Me not stay.
Not staying because her yard is already overrun by stormwater, pushing her out as if she were a visitor in her own home.
Surreal scenes here in the back of a yard in Bamboo River in Morant Bay, where the sea has almost transformed the landscape. Palm trees look as if they're floating. I'm standing in the back of the yard. It was a playground for children, a playpen still for animals that have been secured there. Now beyond that are about 2 to 3 homes. They've since been battened down. Residents told me that they have evacuated. Now for those though who live to the front of the yard, they're waiting to see. This is one of the areas that we will be monitoring even as Hurricane Melissa makes landfall in Jamaica.
Jamaica Maitland, TVJ News.
In Manchester, the day ended Sunday on a calm note, but at daybreak, Melissa started showing her true colors. Here's Ramada Lyons.
The day ended Sunday on a calm note, but at daybreak, Melissa started showing her true colors. The conditions in Manchester today are far different from the conditions we saw yesterday. The rain started last night, minutes to 11, and it has been consistent all through last night and now all through today. I mean, the wind has also been very powerful. Another thing I've noticed is that the main road in this town very scanty, which is an indication that a lot of people have opted to stay indoors. This woman, though concerned about the system, braved the journey to check on her husband at Mandeville Regional Hospital.
He's sick, so I definitely have to find a way to come here, visit him, make sure everything going right. Yeah, so that's why.
She's wary of Melissa, yes.
But still have to be here to support my husband.
We followed her to the hospital. There isn't a lot of people inside, but there are some very interesting stories.
Daryl come and gone. No, our sister Melissa come. And who next?
That's Rupert Roach. He visited the facility Monday morning from St. Elizabeth for medication. Now, he's stuck.
Strong and can't move. Pure rain, pure water out there. Can't move. Can't move. You know, I'm not going to reach home tonight. The taxi now run. I'm not going to turn till daylight. So, the chance me have, can be better. Arthritis. Pain. You know, so I'm sick some tablet for some painkiller. I reach and can't go back home. You don't need to go home.
And then we have the case of healthcare workers. Oftentimes we hear about doctors and nurses, but have you ever heard from an ambulance technician during a hurricane?
My role as an ambulance attendant is to safely transport a patient from point A to point B when needed. So I'll be here from, well, as I told you before, I'm here from Friday going into Wednesday morning. Understand? Until the storm subside. To help someone in a case like this, it really brings joy to us as healthcare workers.
He's helping to save lives, but he's separated from his family.
We do reflect back on our family in some cases, yes. Most times when we view the weather and how it's behaving on the outside, we do reflect back at home.
Now in Gifted Grove, a community in Hatfield, residents were startled when they discovered a sparking wire in this tree amid rain and heavy winds. A good distance away, this gas station in Gutters was one of the very few still open, allowing motorists wanting to secure gas that opportunity. And as we drove through other communities, little to nobody spotted on the outside, just swaying trees and fallen leaves. And when our journey took us a little outside the parish, unexpectedly, more lashing. The wind has been very powerful, very, very powerful. This pole is a testament to that. Trees that haven't fallen already. Oh, all right. These men have interrupted my live to tape, but I won't treat it as an interruption. What have you been seeing on the roadways?
Why, I tell you, rough. Man, so I want to preview and I tell you, say, whole place. Tell you a real thing yet. It's a preview and I come from. We can't come from the road.
Continue, we can.
Oh, yeah. We come from where I as well and I tell you, say, tree and everything in the road. And my friend, I'm running so I can't go where I want to go put in our garage because I be a tree and everything I drop down in the road and it's just a preview. What's the real thing come? Nobody can cross it. God, you there, man?
All right.
I stand up at the door and see when the post jump on me, running at the house and I said to my daughter, say, Kim, the light post jump out there, and Kim say, Mommy, we going to turn off the breaker, and me going to turn off it. So I don't know nothing for that.
Do you have any concerns as it relates to possible electrocution, anything along that line?
No, sir. Nothing happen, nothing happen. Because I did plug out everything before, 5 years today.
And as it relates to other things around the house, do you think you're in good standing as it relates to preparation?
No, sir. Everything all right. You want me to see everything all right.
Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Okay, just going to give you a few comments now from our viewers on WhatsApp. Good evening. We have rain in Claremont, St. Anne, in Ocherius, strong winds and rain. Old Harbour Villa in St. Catherine. We're having rain, not much breeze, and the electricity goes on and off a little, but otherwise it's okay. That's Angela in Old Harbour. The rain has been steady since early today. However, it's been constantly heavy and very windy. We now have electricity. The rain is picking up here, and that is in Goshen in St. Elizabeth, and that's from Milton in Goshen, the namesake. And in Mandeville, Manchester, in the community of Mike Town, There's been heavy rain and winds this side. From where I am, I can't see if there's any damage or any trees that have fallen. And the next we have Samuel, who is living in Lilliput, St. James. Some rain and breeze. This is happening on and off. Normal rain and normal wind. That's Estuary Heights in Friendship, St. James. Spanish Town, St. Catherine, having continuous rain with intermittent to light heavy winds. And then good night. Raining now in Santa Cruz, no winds. In Stairtown, in St. Anne, not heavy, but light. The electricity is in and out. It's raining also in Stairtown. And rain and winds on and off in Kitson Town. And let me see, just a couple more. Not seeing that one. East Rural St. Andrew, lots of wind and rain. The light or electricity has been going in and out since last night. And this comment is from light rain now in Spanish Town. We're in the community of Greendale. We're concerned because our area is high risk for flooding. Hoping our MP, I think that's Denise Daly, gives us some attention. This is Twickenham Drive and Poinciana Avenue. And we have the rains coming down heavily. This is in Dumfries, St. Anne. And got an interesting comment from a viewer in Dumfries. He said he got a text from Odpem warning him, and he says because the hurricane is expected to make its exit through the border of Trelawney and St. James, which is where Dumfries is located. And he said he got a special text from Odpem which says Jamaica is now a threatened area. If told to evacuate, go to a shelter or a safe place now, in all caps. Take your ID, meds, documents, food and water. We're also going to take a quick look at one of the cameras. This one I think is, if I could be told, this is downtown. Yes, sorry. This is downtown, I think West Parade. In downtown Kingston. Again, no one in sight, no dogs at all, nobody. Everybody is, of course, taking the warning. I think a car passed just a minute or so before we took this shot, but nothing happening there, and that's a good sign that everybody's home, sheltering in place. And we're asking viewers to send us videos in terms of what they're seeing happening, anything unusual and interesting in your community, to our WhatsApp line at 876-254-0693. That's 876-254-0693. And we're going to take a look at this camera. This one is in Crossroads in St. Andrew, not too far from where we are. And you can see it's obviously been raining. Doesn't seem to be much winds there. Not seeing any the trees swaying. There's a little light breeze perhaps, but nothing major. And that's the situation there in Crossroads. Of course, all this may be the calm before the storm. We're going to try for one look at one more camera as my producers work hard behind the scenes to get that camera up, and we're going to go to the Kingston Harbour to look at Ocean Boulevard from the sea. Earlier today it was pretty clear. I couldn't tell you all the buildings that I could see. Then in the afternoon it was all foggy and blurry. We couldn't see anything at all. The seas were choppy and heavy. And as we get this camera up and have a look at it, all we're able to see, which you will see in a minute, yes, it's just a few lights on the shore. taken a bit to some time to load the video, but as you can see, you can't really see much from this camera. You can't really see anything happening on the waters, but on the shoreline you see the lights there. The lights are still on, looking at, I don't know even which section of the waterfront that we're looking at, but that's the final camera that we'll have for you tonight. This has been a special update on Hurricane Melissa. I'm Milton Walker. Join us again. First thing in the morning, we have Smile at 6 o'clock, and then we have our news in Smile Jamaica as our news team continues to monitor Melissa. On behalf of the entire team, have a good evening.